This call is now being recorded.
Hey guys, so it might just be us today, but just a quick reminder on weekly training. So, first and third Thursday of every single month, I do a go high level training and basics, just basically like how to manage go high level, how to create contacts, opportunities, automations, and everything. Second Thursday of every month, I typically have like a speaker come on, either like a mortgage coach, someone that has a cool mortgage product, like Mike does with Model Match. And then the fourth Thursday of every month, I do a training on just like a new feature that I've added to the digital loan officer package. Last week, we went over how to send video testimonials out, and I'll be doing that for you. And then we had a fifth Thursday this month. So I typically don't have anything for the fifth Thursday, but I didn't want to have Mike wait another month. So Mike's with Model Match. I know some people use Redder, some people use Model Match, some people use MMI. They just came out with a pretty cool update. So I thought it would be great to have Mike on here to like show what Model Match is, what it does. We've had Redder in the past. So Mike, we can kind of get started. I'll record this and then I'll create it as a blog on the website with like you being on there. And then I'll email this to everybody too. And then this is going to be the whole training is just around like Mike showing us Model Match if anybody's interested in it. Mike, if you have any like strategies, even just outside of Model Match to like get new agents or anything that you've seen. And then, yeah, we'll just answer questions after that. So Mike, floor is yours. It's recording. You're good to start.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys. And thanks Devin for having me on and Hova. And I appreciate everyone, joining to take a look at this. We have recently, for anybody that's familiar with Model Match, it's been completely rebuilt in the last, on our website, it says 6 months, but truly it's taken the last 18 months to overhaul the platform. A little bit of background on us before I jump in. And the company, we never intended to be a data provider. And, you have these companies, MMI and Redder. I was a loan officer in the late 90s till 2008 when the world fell apart, if anyone lived through that. And Model Match was actually a headhunting and recruiting firm that, was helping mortgage companies recruit loan officers that had a book of business and weren't looking for a job. So when we started building our software originally back in like 2013 and 14, we never, again, intended to be this vendor or data provider, which we're viewed at today. And we put our data up against any of our competitors. We do it really well, but we've kind of lived and breathed the business with you guys. A lot of our team is originated, our teams is just recruiting, and we built tools that would create efficiencies for us through those processes. And then what we have today and what the product's evolved into is 100% built off client feedback. So loan officers using our product, recruiters using our product. So just like to point that out. We kind of live in the weeds with you guys. We know the business, and we didn't just create some data tool. We always have the end game in mind, which is to help you originate a new loan, to help somebody recruit new talent, whatever that revenue generating activity is going to be. That's the name of Model Match at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to showcase really two main sides of our product today. And I'm going to start with one that I believe is the most valuable for loan officers right now, which is a tool called Borrower Insights. It can help you, first off, rebuild your past database. If any of you have made a company transition over the years, if you've lost any of your previous borrower contacts or loan transaction details, we can help you rebuild that in a click of a button. We also have a refinancing generation tool where you can search out homeowners or loan transactions that might feed a specific scenario, like show me every VA loan with over a 7% rate in this state, and you can generate leads for yourself where we can get borrower contact information, interest rates, equity, AVM value of homes. And then I'll segue over into kind of the main data piece of Model Match, which most of you, if any of you have used data before, is going to be familiar, but that's market insights on our end, which is where you do your traditional search for real estate agents or get insights into agents that you're already working with. So those are the two main things that I'm going to show. As I go through this, if you guys have questions, feel free to interrupt as we're going through it. This isn't scripted at all. And then I am not as familiar with Google Meet. So Devin, if you can help me out, if any questions come to the chat.
I got it. It's like a square with an arrow at the very bottom.
Yep. I see it.
I would do entire screen just because if you need to pull something up, it's easier.
Okay.
And then Kim Ferraro was just saying, Kim, do you use Model Match right now still?
I got to get better. I just hired Jody. She's going to be working for me part-time. Cool. So I have Model Match linked in with your CRM. So she's in training. She's going to start doing that for me. But I did pay Mike for your service to go back to the NMLS to 2017, I believe you went back to.
Yeah,
And
you
it was
got it.
great because I just uploaded everything to the CRM.
Excellent. And yeah, Kim, your name looked familiar to me. So yeah, I'm glad that you've gone through that process and it's
Yeah.
super easy for you. And
And it
hopefully
was
I can,
inexpensive. I think it was what, $300 or 200, I forget, but it wasn't that bad.
yeah, for most LOs, and I'll share that particular piece of it has they're nominal, but you buy credits and just depending on how many past loans that you have depends on how much that piece of it would cost. And as far as our cost of our software, guys, Devin, maybe I'll let you speak to that at the end, but we're going to finalize some sort of deal that will offer discounts. So if anyone's been to our website or seen pricing, don't necessarily take that for what it is right now because we'll come up with something special for your group. But also, typically, we're more. Our pricing is very affordable when you look at our competition as well, and I like to think that we have a superior product and more economic option too. So not worried about.
And I'll say this really quick, Michael, you share that. For everybody that came in late, I don't make any money from Model Match. Mike, you could even talk about that. Like a lot of affiliates will try to make money off of it. I don't. And I've had Redder come on in the past. I just got introduced to Model Match like 2 months ago we met, and I just thought it'd be great to have them on because we didn't have a training for the 5th Thursday. So Mike will just be showing the platform. You do not have to use it, is not required, but from what he was showing me, I thought it was pretty cool. But there's a lot of cool tools out there. So if you came late, that's what we're doing for this call, is just having Mike show Model Match. So
Thanks, Devin. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to get rid of the Google. I'm going to move this over here and let me know. Can you guys see? And it looks like you can, but where it says suggested filters across the middle. Get rid of the chat thing.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, again, this would be borrower insights, which I'm going to start. And this is going to be your tool that you can utilize to find refinance opportunities and or go to your past loan transactions yourself as a loan officer to rebuild your past database. So the first time you log in here, it's just a one-time thing, but you'll have these quick links to your loans, your borrower turns, so you can see any of your previous purchase borrowers that potentially have refinanced elsewhere, which is important to get insights into that. Refinance opportunities are high equity borrowers. So these are just kind of quick links to your previous production. And if you click on it, the very first time you go in here, it'll ask you to enter your NMLS ID. For the sake of this demo, I actually don't know whose NMLS ID is tied to this, but we'll just use it. Looks like this person's in North Carolina. So what this did with just a click, again, is it's reloaded. If you pretend I'm the loan officer, it's pulled up every single transaction that we have for myself that from 2017 was basically when our data started till present. And we just keep stacking on top of that when we get new data in. So you'll see, first off, borrower status is going to tell you if the homeowner is currently basically still on that same loan since you did that last transaction, or if they've refinanced with you or another loan officer. So if I scroll down, I'll try to find one that looks like it. I don't know if I'll see any here. I don't, but it would point out if for whatever reason they've refinanced since then. You can also see obviously property addresses, loan amount, loan type, the transaction type, the loan officer involved, mortgage company, broker if there was one, lender. It looks like this person's a movement guy. Sale date, sale price, buyer agent, seller agent. So all of this data comes with the tool. And then as you get to the very end of these, you'll be able to enrich additional fields. So this works on a credit-based system. The credits are not very expensive, but each time that you click, you would enrich, for example, either borrower information would be one credit. I might need to go to, let me just do more here.
And Mike, dumb question while you do that.
Yeah.
How does this data come in? Is it like from the loan officer uploading it, or is it just like you guys grabbing public records? And
yeah, great question. It is all public record data. And I don't know, I didn't find a few of these first ones. It could have been the transaction dates, but yeah, it's all public record data. Now you have mortgage data that since Dodd-Frank was implemented, 2016, 2017, mortgage data all data is really strong these days, but extremely accurate. It's tied to the NMLS ID that's on the actual loan documents when a loan goes to get recorded. So at the county level, when these loans are recorded, not Model Match, but different companies that aggregate this data, they literally go boots on the street, go to the county, scan the documents and collect it. And then companies like Model Match or Redder and an MMI, we purchase data from those providers to feed into our tool. Now, one thing that I can say separates Model Match from the other companies I mentioned is that we have more of those relationships to where we are purchasing from multiple sources. So we have like double and even triple coverage in certain areas, and then our development team does, you know, a job of making sure there's no duplicates and all that stuff. But we don't, so if we act like one data provider loses a market coverage, mainly on the real estate side, MLS boards and stuff change, we don't suffer from that because we have ourselves backed up 2 and 3 times with the data sets that we need all over the country. These first ones that didn't appear, and sometimes this will happen, what this does by default is it's showing the most recent loan transactions to the oldest. So for some of these newer ones that just may have funded, it may not be to the point where we know if it was a purchase transaction, who those new owners are. So give it like 30 days and some of the more recent ones will pull up. But if you're looking at, again, your past transactions, get borrower information here. We can get you calculated rate as well. So I'll enrich a few of these, and then we can get equity balance, equity percentage, current loan to value, and then home value. Home value is important too, because this is not like a Zillow or Redfin or anything like that. It's an actual lender grade AVM value that looks at over 50 different comps in the market. It's actually a model match equation that we've come up with, where we are able to generate those values for you guys. So they're extremely accurate. You go into here, you can click on an owner's information, hit this drop down, you'll see emails, phone numbers, obviously name, age, income, net worth, anything to do with income, net worth, job, occupation, anything like that. If we have it, we'll put it in there. Sometimes you won't see it, just depends on it. So for most loan officers, yeah, rebuilding their past database is as simple as coming in here. You can do a select all as well. You don't have to do these one by one. Enrich all the data, and then you click to export it, and it generates a CSV file for you. So that way you can regain all your past clients' contact information, and loan details there. And then look through your database, obviously, to look for borrowers that may be in a position to refinance out of here too, if you can save money. Got a couple clicks. Any questions on that so far, guys, or is that pretty straightforward to you?
Yes, one question. If you could go over the home value, because that kind of caught my attention. I know that you said it's not your typical like Zillow or whatever value. So is it kind of like what were you explaining? Is it that you actually are able to pull a past appraised value reports of some sort to kind of feed into that data with like recent appraisals, or do you use sales?
We use sales. So, and apologies for this too. I just learned a lot about this in the last week, and how it compares to something like a Zillow. But Model Match, one of the things that we have access to is we can see all data from the application of a loan through the funding of a loan too. So how that ties into the value of a home is if we're in a market where, you know, we see things trending down, applications going down, things not getting approved, that ultimately could affect the sale price of the home. We can see if things are on average selling above or below listing value. So it ties into all that. I don't know the exact algorithm behind how it works, but I do know that we base it more off of other trends that are taking place in a particular neighborhood, past appraised values, other things that, from what I'm being told by our internal development team, is actually, it's like more of a predictive value of a home, and better than like something that you would see on a Zillow or see, I'm drawing blanks on one of the other big ones out there. But yeah, that it's like a true lender grade AVM type of value that like underwriters would use as well, that we're able to generate through it.
So probably more similar to like a House Canary AVM.
I'm not sure how House Canary works, but I HomeBot's the other one, I think, where I know that whatever it's doing is doing it more accurately than HomeBot. I've heard of House Canary, but I don't know exactly how that works, so I don't want to speak to it.
Is there do you guys do what kind of marketing do you guys do? Or is this just data information? Are we able to take this data and then like send out postcards or anything like that? Or is it just primarily get your data and then now you have to plug it into a marketing system to do all that?
Right now, it's going to be plugged into a marketing system, but I'll talk about maybe some of the evolution that's coming over the next 6 to 12 months here. We started building, we never intended to be a marketing platform. It was all, Model Match was a tool to help you generate relationships with real estate agents, and then it moved into, borrowers and things with these past transactions. We started building marketing content and a mechanism to deliver drip marketing through our old version. This is version 3 that we're looking at here. There's an older version of Model Match that just 2 weeks ago we came out with a new version. So we started building it about a year ago, and then AI came around and completely flipped everything upside down. In the next 6 to 12 months, and we're already doing this today, it's just not customer facing yet, Model Match will be able to create content for you. Basically, it'll utilize AI to identify the opportunity and then say, what do you want to do with it? Do you want me to email this homeowner? Do you want me to email this real estate agent? What do you want the content to be? Or even better, do you want me to make a phone call for you? And in some cases, that's still experimental, but we're finding that a lot of younger homeowners, especially if they have embarrassing financial situations, they're actually open to speaking to an AI bot about like a pre-qual conversation on a mortgage, and then that can get kicked over to a loan officer with somebody that's like warmed up and had a conversation. But the AI has to be good and conversational. It can't be like pausing and taking 10 seconds to respond. So we're in the process right now where we have our own AI MCP servers in the background that are educating themselves and going to be able to do that in the next 6 to 12 months. So a great question right now. No, it's not a delivery of marketing, but it will be very soon in the near future.
Hey, Mike, I'm intrigued by the basically the customer data, because I've got so many kind of old files where we had like a work address, email address, and they've moved or something like that. Is it pulling that data from the closed file, or is it more updated contact info? Current.
So for contact info, we're using other sources, not just what might be on a 1003. Where if we have that information, that's where you're going to see multiple phone numbers in some cases.
Okay.
But we do use a completely different data source for contact information, not only for borrowers, but for real estate agents and loan officers that you can look at through the software. And I haven't had any, so typically, if I hear some buzz or complaints about that, where it's not accurate or it's not showing up, that's what would, red flag to me. I don't hear any of that. So as far as I'm, concerned with our platform, the contact information is reliable. We also will show you guys in the export if they're on a do not call list. Now, if they're your past client, you may not have to worry about that. But if you're utilizing this tool to search for any loan transaction that may not be yours, that just looking for other refi opportunities, we will show you if they're on the do not call list as well. Any other questions on this this piece of it so far? And again, this is mainly just utilizing your NMLS ID, pulling up your past transactions to help you guys rebuild your databases. The other use case for this, what I mentioned. Go ahead. Was there a question?
I couldn't see it on the screen, but okay, I see it now. Loan type.
Yeah, sorry, I was in the same spot, being stagnant for a while, but yeah, loan amounts, loan types, transaction types, loan officers, all the companies involved, brokers, lenders, sale date, sale price, buyer agent, listing agent details, and any one of these that you click on, you can pull up.
LTV information at the time of the transaction?
Yeah, so there's an LTV, and I think it's at the very end of my list here. There's a LTV at the time of loan, and then there's a current LTV that you get when you enrich these columns here. And if I went over it kind of quickly, so the enrichment works on a credit system where it would take you 3 credits per transaction if you needed all this information. So 1 credit is for homeowner information, a 2nd credit is for calculated interest rate, and then a 3rd credit will enrich all of the equity balance, equity percent, current loan to value, and home value information there. And then a loan to value at the time of the loan will be included there. And then if I back off of this and just clear my search and go back to my home screen, again, you could also utilize this to show you any loan in the country that meets a scenario that you guys know, depending on the products you offer or rates that you have that just anybody that fits a certain scenario, you may be able to help. So there's this smart borrower search where you can plug in just like an AI prompt, just like ChatGPT, and say, show me every VA loan in this city, state, zip, whatever it is that has higher than X interest rate. It has more than 20% equity in the property, whatever it is. Or you can manually go apply those filters to, like if I do Texas, just because it's pulled up here, get specific, show me every VA loan, FHA loan in Texas. And sorry, I have to scroll back to the left so you can see the results. But you can start filtering down, kind of plugging away, again, whatever scenarios you guys might be looking for. Borrower status will be important. So this is, again, where you can say, show me only people that are still in that existing loan and have not refinanced since then, so I can plug that filter on there. Date range is going to be important, looking for things maybe done in a specific year, 2023, whatever it was. So, sometimes elapsed, they paid off some of the mortgage, got some more equity in the property, rates have changed. A lot of filters, for the sake of time, not to go into everything, but there's a ton of filtering that you guys can do to really narrow down and get yourself a list of, cast a tight net, right? Go put in criteria, build a list. There might be, 200-300 results that match what you need. Grab 50 of them, work through those, come back, grab another 50, whatever it is. And a nice thing about this type of data too, guys, is these homeowners, they're not shopping for a mortgage. A lot of times they might not even know they're in a situation to save money. So you can come in and the approach that I've seen work the best so far has been through phone calls, although we do have customers that are doing marketing campaigns to homeowners and other ways of reaching out, mailers, stuff like that. But the loan officers are making a call. They're saying, I'm a local mortgage consultant in your area. I'm using public record data to look for homeowners that might be in a position to save some money and that I can help out. And then they're pointing out very specific facts about the loan that they can see through our tool. So they're, I can see that your rate's approximately this right now in this product, whatever it is. I think I could save you some money. Would you be open for a consultation? And it's been going over well. You'll have very little competition, with these searching transactions like this. You do have to coach them. And you guys probably know this. Once they go and pull credit, they're going to get a call from their servicer. So you have to coach them through that a little bit. But when we were first testing this out, we gave an LO as a movement person, but we gave them 100 of these just for free, like go have at it. And they got 3 loans out of it within 24 hours. So it's a tool that certainly pays for itself, but that is working and is creating value for people out there.
Do you guys scrub against the national do not call list?
Yeah, sorry, I mentioned that before. We do.
Oh.
And as part of the export, when I export transactions, there's a column that'll show you if they're on the do not call list. And then also the Consumer Protection Act thing, the TCPA thing, it'll show you if they're on that.
Nice.
Did you say how much a credit is?
At the most, they're 33 cents per credit. And it just depends on how many you buy. As you buy more credits, we give you free credit, so it effectively drives the cost down. They can get all the way down to 11 cents per credit, but it takes a lot of credits to get to that place. So
For a single contact with all their information, loan information, it would be $1.
yep, 99 cents, you got it at the most. And as Kim mentioned, if anyone heard that on the start of the call, most loan officers, depending on how many past transactions that you have, kind of majority of what I see, they can go in and rebuild their database, one-time fee of like $200, $300, $400, somewhere around there, and they'll have their entire past database, all the contact information. So I certainly have a lot of people that do that and are just using it alone to rebuild their past database. And then if that's what you're doing, instead of generating refi leads, it's just that one-time purchase for you. So, and then I'll segue over into the Market Insights tool, which I'm excited to share with you guys. But before I do that, just any more questions, let me know. Feel free to answer them for you here. So I'll keep going now. So Borrower Insights is it's just part of Model Match. Think of it as one environment, right? One ecosystem that has several different tools that you can get to. Market Insights is again going to be your more traditional, let's search for a real estate agent, or maybe go to a real estate agent's profile that you're already working with, see how loyal they are, see if they're sending you all the business that they tell you are. So yeah, Market Insights, for anyone that's used Model Match in the past, this is a brand new version 3 of it. It's a lot easier to use. It's a lot faster. It's got better filters and a lot more insights into agents and loan officers. So it's super simple. Like, what do you want to do? You want to find a person, search for companies or offices, mortgage or real estate, or search an area. So for the sake of demos, usually I'll search an area. Then what do you want to find? Mortgage loan officers, mortgage branches, real estate agents or offices. So I'll do an agent search. And then does anyone care, for the sake of this, where I look? City, state, zip code?
77433.
77433. Couple of cool things here too. So is that Houston? Is it Houston?
Yeah. Oh, it's Cypress.
Cypress. Okay. So you're going to get location, and then you'll get the option to choose production location or office location. So you can toggle between the two. On the real estate side, you're going to find, obviously, people are doing business where they're located at. But if you go search for mortgage loan officers and plug in the same zip code, you're going to get people from all over the country that pop up. So you can toggle between it, say office location, and now I'm actually looking at the individuals that are physically located there, at least with their licensing and where we can tell that they're hanging their license. So that's cool to be able to specify that location, and then you can change like the radius around it to exact location match just within the zip code, or you can do like a 25 or 50 mile radius around it. Also, the time period in which you're searching by default, it goes to 14 months, but this is new for Model Match as well, where you can customize the date range in which you're searching and adding production filters to. So if you wanted to, again, our data goes back to 2017, so I can customize a specific date range in which I want to run the search, but by default, it's basically looking at their last year. And then filters for brokerage that they work at, volume. So if you wanted to say, like, just use the slider here and let's say, I don't know, 4.5 million minimum on the buy side or the sell side. You can do the same thing with the units. Look at average loan amounts. Look at agents that have active listings. So if you want to specify, show me people with active listings. Kind of on that same subject, we are releasing new features in this new version literally every single day. There's a full listing search that's coming out where I can say, show me all the active listings in this zip code, and we'll kick out all the property addresses. You can see all that information today, but you have to go in through the agent. So we're just adding that additional filter to see the listings. There's also a notification system that you can get alerted of listings that are associated to an agent or a property address or a market that you're following. So yeah, active listings is cool. Recently active. So yeah, if you want to see, agents that, they might have done this amount of production in the last year, but show me people that are recently active in the last 90 days, 180 days, or a year, or custom range there. Buyer and seller heavy, different loan types attached to their finance transactions as agents. So important one there. Institution type. So people that are doing business with banks, credit unions, or other. If I was doing a loan officer search, I can specify, do these people work for a broker, an independent mortgage banker, a bank, a credit union? Compass Groups. I don't know if anyone has any affiliation with Rocket, and this is something that we are able to create custom filters. And this is only in this account because it's something we created custom for Rocket. So normally you would see this, and it might not matter to you if that's the case, but there are agents that belong to a specific Compass group that there are some additional incentives to get loans and relationships with them. So we are able to create a quick filter that allowed them to do that. It's just in my demo account, so I'm showing you. But we have the ability to do that too. We can create custom filters for things that might be creating value for certain users. So you can come to our team and ask for something specific. And if it's on a small scale and easy, we can just roll it out to you. If it's something larger, we would have an economic conversation about what that would look like, but we have the ability to create custom filters, companies, lenders, and then you can specify too if agents have contact information. So I want to take some time, go through everything there, because there is a lot more filtering to the new version of Model Match, not to bore you with all that, but yeah, a lot of filters that you can set. List creation, really easy. I can just grab everybody that matches my my results here, I can export them into a CSV and Excel file. Now we do have the ability in our premium plans to integrate with other softwares. So you can push like our big ones are Salesforce and HubSpot, Total Expert. But we also have webhook that you can create to push things to like a Go High level. And we do have API now as well. It's not open API, but we have the ability to create APIs and have softwares talk to the back end of our data. That's for a different conversation though, but if anyone's interested, we can have a conversation around that.
Mike, is there a cost for export or a limit per month or anything like that?
Great question. No. So I know that we differ in that area than our competitors. Our exports are unlimited, and there's no additional cost, besides just the normal recurring monthly cost of the software that you would pay to get exports. And then as we drill into a profile here, those kind of work top to bottom. But yeah, I just went into Kristen. She's at Texas Local Realty. I can see the office location address, phone numbers, email addresses, social media profiles. So it's not going to be Instagram, stuff like that, but any work related stuff, Facebook, personal web pages, LinkedIn typically will pull in. Top right, you can customize date ranges, again, back to 2017. We built a new export profile as well. So in addition to exporting a list of people, you can export individual profiles if you just want a quick snapshot of this production. And then we score them as well. So we tell you, the tier they're in this case, a top producer. This is a seller focused person. I should have focused more on a buyer side person. Referral concentration. This is just letting you as the LO know, are they approachable? Are they diversified? Or are they sending all their business, to one loan officer? So it's giving you kind of a rating system on how approachable that they are. And then listing activity, we can see 7 active listings, 2 pending, and 28 sold in the last 14 months. And then, you could really stay high level. So this first tab's overview, which I'll scroll through in a second. And then you can drill into, the details through these different tabs: market signals, transactions, loan officers they refer to, lenders, and title companies here. So first just breaks down buyer, seller volume, average loan size, the loan officers they work with, monthly volume. You can toggle this to just buyer or just seller volume too as well. These are all the buy side agent relationships, and then these are all the LOs that were involved on the sell side.
Mike, on the buyer versus seller, is there what was the different line numbers? Is that, or the different color lines? Is there a key somewhere that shows?
Yeah, so I think the red line is comparing it to the previous time period. So for whatever date range that you specify is, it's basically showing you in the last 14 months.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So that was their last year. And then the blue is going to be the buy side and the green is going to be the, buyer volume, and then buyer volume that's been mortgaged. I didn't see that before because I'm on buyer right now. If I go back to all, let's see what it shows. Yeah, we're showing you what's mortgages as opposed to the cash deals, and then you can just use the toggles up here to go from buyer to seller.
Nice.
See right there. Also to point out, I'll come back to it in a second, but geography is cool. You can click into the state and see like where their business is concentrated, and it'll give you how much production they're doing in each county. In this case, it's only a couple, but yeah, if they're spread out a lot, it's nice to kind of get that breakdown by market. It does the same down here. At the very bottom, we get into active listings, and I can click, and then I can view all the actual active listings on the property in the transactions tab. Back out of that for a second. What was the other thing? Oh, I was going to point out too, everything in Model Match that's like a name, a company name, a branch location, they're all hyperlinked. So if I just click on these, it's going to now take me to that profile. I don't have to back out and research, who this person is. It's funny, Nancy at Rocket, I was just talking about that. But yeah, it's nice that you can just click on company names. Like if I want to go to this office for Remax, I can do that. So yeah, anything you see, just, to drill deeper, you can go into it. Overview tab. So, and then market signals. This is where we're starting, and I'm going to show you guys a better example of this in a second, but this is where we're starting to incorporate the application data, like what's happening prior to this loan even funding. And the way that we're able to display that, we can't show at an individual level you know, if a borrower was approved or not approved or whatever. But what we can show is at a market level, any area is specified. In this case, it's looking at Texas as a whole, but I can narrow that down to counties, zip codes, and it's going to create this market signal report for you that looks at our applications up in Texas. In this case, yeah, they are up 9%. Approvals are up 2%. Locks are up 10%. You can see average time to close. You can get a market overview, so the total volume done, again, in whatever date range that you specified. So in this case, it's 14 months. There's 317 billion volume, 889,000 units. You can see all that broken down by month. Loan characteristics, so we can see average interest rates, average loan to values, average loan terms, jumbo conforming, borrower profiles, which is really cool, especially for loan officers. Like, you can get insights into your market, and maybe if you're not working with, you know, a lot of first-time home buyers or whatever it is, you can really see the trends in your market. But average credit scores, household income, credit score distributions, buyer types, the actual generational breakdown of the buyers.
Mike, on the average credit or the average interest rate, kind of we see this with Optimal Blue, but it doesn't count the number of points paid. Is there anything that pulls that data?
So we can see if someone, from my understanding, and it ties into, so yes, I believe we're doing it here because in our other tool that I started with, Borrower Insights, where when you click the interest rate, it is a calculated rate based on the day it was locked and that. But in speaking to my leadership, I understand that we can see if someone bought down a rate and know that, so it's factored in. It's not exactly accurate, but it's usually within about 0.25% is what we've seen there. So I'm assuming we're doing the same thing here and tying in or considering that into what we're displaying here with the average credit scores.
Okay.
And again, there's just restrictions on, we're the only company that has this data. Intentionally, they wanted to give it to us and see how we could run with it. But the one restriction to it, because it does violate some, you know, consumer protection things, but you can't show you individually on the borrower like what their actual credit score is. So we have to group it together into
Right.
these reports. But it's really accurate from what I know. And then our development team's done a good job of creating, like, you know, the algorithms and the system in which it you know, generates that number for us. I know that they spent a long time just working on that to be as accurate as possibly could be.
What was the monthly subscription cost?
So we're gonna have a deal worked out with Devin and Hova for you guys. As Devin mentioned, he doesn't make anything off of this, but we're gonna offer discounts. You can view, we have 3 different plans on our website, which is modelmatch.com. They're all monthly, month-to-month subscriptions, and they range from, technically there's 4 plans. They range from $29 a month up to $199 a month. But those will be discounted for you guys. So I don't know what the exact final cost will be, but it'll be less than those options. The $29 plan is kind of always the base. It never goes below that. But if you signed up for our premium plan at $199, it will be cheaper than that. We just don't know the final numbers yet.
Do you know when we would know that?
Yeah, Devin, I think we can get together probably, you know, this week, early next week, and finalize on that so that we can get, you know, pricing out to your group.
That'd be great, because I'll be on next week's newsletter. So if I can have that when I send to all my clients, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be super easy. We'll just, like, you know, we're just looking at the size of the audience, and then we're going to price it accordingly for you guys. But you'll definitely get some good discounts there.
See.
And I'll go over the differences in the plans with the new, and we're kind of getting off track a little bit, but with the new version that we're looking at right now that we just released, it really, it's going to boil. Some of the features are going to move around from our old plans. It's going to consolidate. I think it'll end up being 3 plans, and I'll point out the differences in those plans based on your guys' use case and kind of what you would need from that. Yeah, product distribution mix. The rest I can cover pretty quickly here. If I go back up, transactions is going to be just that. These are all the individual transactions that makes up this agent's volume. So property addresses, buyer, the home buyer or builder involved, but buyer information, so the borrower information, title company, mortgage amount, down payment, transaction type, loan officer. So, and you can export these transactions from here if you want as well. This will be important for you guys, but the originators that they're that they're referring business to. So total originators use their top 3 concentrations. So 64% of their business does go to 3 loan officers. Total mortgage volume and average loan size for the finance transactions. So you can see all those loan officers. And again, I could click into any one of those LOs if I want to go to their profile. Same thing, like a wallet share breakdown by lenders that are involved. And then the last one would be title companies, if you guys care about that. So yeah, title information. We work with First American and some big title companies out there. So a lot of the title stuff that you see was requests of theirs to see, yeah, title information. I don't find that many loan officers care about it, but we do have it in there if you guys need it. So that's the market insights piece. And again, I can do that same search that I did for agents. I could toggle that over and do a loan officer search instead. I can also search for mortgage companies, mortgage branches, or real estate offices through that search. And then in addition, kind of touched on it already with the market signals, but we have a reporting dashboard. Some reports that you see in here, branch production, LO production, they're not all available to all of our clients. It's dependent on not only the subscription, but if you need it. But the typical reports that our users will have activity to are market activity reports. So I can view loan officers, transitions, volume, movement, and market trends. So that's more of a recruiting tool. Market signals is cool. We covered that, where you can get the application and all the trends in a particular market. And if I go into it from here, I can specify city, state, zip code, or a nationwide search, give it date ranges, status, loan types, and then yeah, look at all those same details broken down for me.
Can you do a kind of a metro area?
Yeah, I think we do MSA as well. Let's
Okay.
see here. Where's it might be on a different report. National rankings. I know it's here somewhere. On one of the reports does show us like it lets you pick an MSA, or you can just do city, state, and zip. I saw it yesterday.
That'd be just good for marketing to realtors.
Yeah, market activity report is the one that has the MSA option.
Okay, nice.
Again, this is more of this will give you like a total overview of the market. And then the other one was the one I was talking about, was the recruiting tool. It's more the industry movement. We're showing you which companies are hiring, how many people, and what that volume represented is. So yeah, on the market activity report, you'll have the MSA option. So these 4 reports, market activity, market signals, industry movement, and national rankings, will be available to you guys. And then the other reports, branch production, LO production, we have a ton of other custom reports that we've created for certain clients that at request, if you need something, ask us if we have it, and then we can provide you access if you need it. But I find that most LOs are good with these unless they're looking for something super specific there. What else? Again, no credits, no charge for exporting capabilities are unlimited. So real estate agents, loan officers, anything that you're trying to export there, you can do. And the what's to come for us, the next phase, there's new releases again literally every day right now. There's a new filter, a new something that's coming out. The big ones that are coming next are the active listing searches. The notification system was coming out, and we already had it, the old version, but the new version, to where you can get notified of listings in a market or certain things that are happening that are triggering a notification for you. So our plans, I apologize, I don't have this. Devin, do you want me just to pull up our normal pricing page and then talk about the plans, and then we can come up with the actual pricing?
Yeah, that works great. And then if you guys do decide to use Model Match, I'll just need the export of your list, and you can send it to me, and then I'll even import it into your Go High Level for you. And then if you want a custom campaign built, just send me some bullet points, and I'll write the emails, the text, script the videos, kind of like with everything that I typically do. So we can still do a lot of marketing if you do use Model Match. If you don't use Model Match, cool too. But yeah.
Hey, Devin.
Yep.
You know how you were working on that weekly interest rate campaign?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To send out to people. So we could use that in conjunction with this. So, we could say, hey, your rates are now at 6 or 5. your rate was 7, so it's a good time to refinance.
Yeah, because Mike, when they export, can they export like their interest rate? You probably can. I've just
You
double.
can.
Okay.
So I will point out, so in borrower insights, back to where we started, if you're enriching the interest rate column, which I don't know why I was like graying them out for me earlier, but you to run an export out of this tool, you have to at least enrich one of these columns. And for the interest rates to come along with it, you'll have to enrich the interest rate. I might just need to refresh it here, but so I just want to point that out. So if I want to export this transaction, I have to enrich at least one of these fields to do that. And then obviously, if you want the rate, then you'd have to export or enrich the interest rate field. And then yes, that will be on the export file for you as well.
And so to pull like the client contact info and the rate would be 2 credits.
You
And
got
if I
it.
wanted everything, it would be 3.
3, you got it.
Okay.
And the way that so the model match subscription itself, and Devin, I saw that you put the link in there. I put it in as well. Go to our website, you click pricing at the top. So this is where we're in a transition period, and some of the visuals that you see on our website aren't going to look like what I showed you today because it's on our old version, and we had to kind of keep this under wraps until it released. So this will all catch up in the next couple of weeks where it'll all be refreshed on the website. So if anything looks different on our website, just realize it's a brand new version. Really, in my experience right now, guys, these are our normal plan pricing. You have this standard plan, essential, and premium. I'll explain the differences. But while you're visiting our website, you can also scroll down and get a list of features that's included with each. We also there is a free trial on this $29 plan, which anyone can do right now. This will give you a very good feel of just the system, how it operates. It's completely free to try, and it's a 14-day free trial. So there is this starter plan. Now, if you sign up for the free trial at starter and you convert that into a ongoing monthly subscription, what you get with starter is you get nationwide access to all of our data, but you only get a 14-month look back, and you don't get all the historic data back to 2017. And then this tool does not have access to, or sorry, this level or plan doesn't have access to the borrower insights, where you can get the contact information and the details for the homeowners and the interest rate and all that. So this is a super basic plan of just data only within the app. You can't export through it. It's just visualizing data in the app. So it's good for LOs that are kind of on the run. If you're going to meet with an agent, you just want to pull up their production real quick. Starter's really good for that. By the way, I didn't mention it before, but all of what I showed you guys today is fully optimized for any device that you're on. So if you're in your iPhone or an iPad or your desktop, whatever it is, it works and looks really clean on all different devices. So there's no native app for it, but we found that just optimizing it for the different devices actually works better. So really easy to do and log into from wherever you're at. Next plan up. So standard at $49 a month, typically, and again, this will have a discount. These 3 plans will all have a discount associated to it for you guys. Standard is going to give you all of our historic data. So it gives you data back to 2017. And then you'll get the reporting or the notification system where you can follow an agent and get notified of a listing. Now that feature has not migrated from our old version to our new version yet, but it will be available in the next week or 2. So you may not notice a difference there if you haven't set anything up yet. But that's the biggest change in this plan, is that the data going back to 2017, and then the addition of the notification system. This is where things are going to change a little bit, I would say, in this essential plan. Essential plan, the big one for you guys is this is where you get access to borrower insights so that you can, purchase the credits to then enrich contact information, interest rate, and equity position information. So borrower insights will be part of this one. And then jumping up to premium is everything that we have. Premium is exporting. It's the integrations that we offer. So if you need to get the data out of Model Match, you're going to want to choose the premium option to export list of like agents, loan officers. On the essential plan, if you're exporting only borrower and transaction information, you can do that in the essential plan. But if you're pushing data to other systems, need to integrate webhook or export from like real estate agent lists, that would be on the premium plan. So
But
yeah,
on all plans, it's still paying, I forgot what you called it, credits?
Mark, is that you? I can barely hear you.
Yes.
What was your question again?
I was asking on all three programs, you're still paying credits.
Yeah, you do have to buy the credits to get the contact and the borrower information, these additional fields here. We hate credit systems. We honestly try to avoid them at all costs, but there's a cost associated every time someone clicks a button in this software. So we have to pass along some of that cost, but we eat the cost too if for whatever reason it doesn't return a result. So yeah, you gain access to this, and then you go to your credit ledger here, and then you would purchase credits, and then you just toggle to how many you need depending on how it is. So yeah, we try to avoid that at all costs, but that particular piece of it needs to be tied to some sort of credit system just to so it's not, and we go broke basically if everyone was in there just clicking everything every time, and we weren't trying to charge some amount for that piece of it.
Sweet. I'm gonna
Devin?
end here. Yeah, go ahead, Tristan.
And Devin, on doing it as an export, are we able to build in kind of something where we can, like, the current owner and loan piece and stuff like that, and then date as to when that was last checked, I guess?
Yeah, I could just create some custom fields. I'll create a folder that's like model match, or something similar to that. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mike, I'm gonna end there just because I have a call in 4 minutes, but
Yeah.
really appreciate you hopping on. If you have anything else that I can send to everybody that's a client, I'll send it in next week's newsletter, and then I'll just text or email you to finalize pricing. And then if you have any questions, I sent Model Match's website inside of there, but if you want to start with Model Match, I can also do an email introduction with you and Mike. Mike, I'm not sure if you want to put your email in the chat. That would help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike, and I'll see you guys next week.
Devin,
Yes, go ahead, Mark.
quick question. Sean mentioned something about rate email. Is that something outside of the rate update AI, I think it was called, service?
It's going to be similar. It's kind of similar. I'll send that to you, Mark. But that will work too with rate update.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Okay. I'll stop this.